Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside the Mind. I'm Sam, and sitting with me as always is Sid. Today we're looking at a personality pattern that often gets misunderstood, Histrionic Personality Disorder, or HPD.
Yeah, HPD is one of those disorders that hides behind charm. It's dramatic, colorful, expressive, but beneath that brightness is often a deep fear of being unseen or forgotten.
So it's not just about being attention-seeking?
Right. The stereotype is unfair. People with HPD aren't faking emotions. They feel them deeply, but their emotional world runs on intensity. They've learned somewhere along the way that attention equals love, and invisibility equals abandonment. Clinically, HPD is defined by a pervasive pattern of excessive emotionality and attention-seeking behavior. It often shows up as a constant need for approval or reassurance, rapidly shifting emotions, dramatic or theatrical expression, discomfort when not the center of attention, and a tendency to use physical appearance or charm to draw others in. But those are just surface signs. What's underneath is a fragile self-esteem, built entirely on external validation.
So they measure their worth by how others respond to them.
Exactly. If people are clapping, they feel alive. If the room goes quiet, they feel erased. Most people with HPD grew up in emotionally inconsistent homes. Maybe one parent rewarded affection with praise, "You're so adorable when you smile," but ignored or scolded them when they expressed sadness or anger. So, the child learns, to get love, I have to perform. Over time, authenticity takes a back seat to expression. They don't manipulate consciously. It's survival through performance.
So charm becomes their armor.
Yes, and the audience becomes their oxygen. In adulthood, this turns into what I call the spotlight syndrome. If they're not the focus of attention, they feel anxious or worthless. You'll notice exaggerated gestures, emotional storytelling, even flirtation, not necessarily sexual, but a way to stay noticed. If you're talking about your problem, they might shift the focus subtly. "Oh my God, that reminds me of when I went through something even worse." Not because they're selfish, but because being unseen feels unbearable.
So it's like, if I'm not shining, I'm disappearing.
Exactly. Take someone like Rhea. She's magnetic in groups, funny, expressive, the life of every party. But when she goes home, there's this emptiness. No messages, no audience. Suddenly, she feels unloved, even though nothing bad happened. So, she texts multiple people, posts emotional stories online, maybe exaggerates how bad her day was, not to manipulate, but to feel seen again. Or imagine a man, Arjun, who constantly jokes, flirts, and dominates conversations. He says, "I just love people," but deep down, he's terrified of silence, because silence brings back the loneliness he felt as a child. That's HPD in motion. Relationships with someone who has HPD are often intense but unstable. They can be very loving, very present, until the attention shifts away. Then they might create emotional drama, consciously or not, to pull focus back. It can look like jealousy, tears, threats, or sudden withdrawal, all driven by fear of losing importance.
So it's not manipulation, it's panic.
Exactly. A deep attachment panic. They fear that if they're not captivating, they're disposable. That's why people with HPD often confuse real intimacy with performance. They'll say, "I love you so much" in one breath, and feel abandoned the next minute if the other person doesn't respond with equal fire.
HPD and BPD sometimes sound similar emotional highs and lows. Fear of abandonment. What's the difference?
Good question. Both fear rejection, but they express it differently. BPD is driven by emotional intensity and instability. Their world swings between idealization and despair. HPD is driven by performance and appearance. They regulate emotions through attention and approval. Where a person with BPD might self-destruct after feeling abandoned, a person with HPD might overcompensate by turning up their charm, exaggerating emotions, or seeking new attention. At the heart of HPD is the fear. I'm nothing unless I'm noticed. That's why emotional displays feel involuntary tears, laughter, flirting, drama. It's all an unconscious strategy to stay connected. But because it's based on external validation, the person never feels full for long. They need a new audience, a new admirer, a new scene. It's like emotional hunger that never ends. Historically, HPD was overdiagnosed in women, often unfairly. In reality, men can have it too, but it looks different. Women might lean on expressiveness or appearance. Men might use humor, charisma, or even dominance to hold attention. At its root, gender aside, it's about emotional survival through approval. Therapy for HPD focuses on helping the person separate worth from attention. That means learning to feel valid even when nobody's watching. Approaches like psychodynamic therapy or schema therapy help uncover early attachment wounds often linked to inconsistent parenting or conditional love. Over time, they can learn emotional regulation, genuine self-expression, and authentic intimacy.
So they have to unlearn performing love and relearn feeling love.
Exactly. It's about finding value in quiet presence, realizing that you can be loved for being, not just performing. If you're close to someone with HPD, boundaries are key. Don't get pulled into cycles of reassurance. Validate their emotions. I can see you feel hurt. But avoid feeding the performance. You don't need to prove anything to me. Over time, calm consistency helps them trust stability.
So the healing gift is not more attention, it's steady presence.
Exactly. Quiet love is medicine. To sum it up, HPD isn't about vanity. It's about a child who learned that being enough means being entertaining, beautiful, or adored. The adult still carries that script louder, brighter, hoping to stay loved. With awareness and therapy, that script can be rewritten into something gentler. I don't have to perform to be worthy.
That was beautiful, Sid. I think this episode will help people see the humanity behind the drama.
That's the goal, to replace judgment with understanding.
All right, that wraps up episode 5. Next time, we'll dive into how histrionic and narcissistic personalities often overlap the drama duo dynamic, where charm meets grandiosity. That's going to be a fascinating one.
Absolutely. See you all next time on Inside the Mind.